In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, may peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah be upon all of you. Hajj and Umrah Act 2024 for NTS Field Supporting Staff and Supervisory Positions Test Preparation जो 26 जनवरी को होने जा रहा है, तो Senate of Pakistan House of the Federation Report number 5 है. Report of the Senate Standing Committee on Religious Affairs and Interfaith Harmony on a bill for regulating and managing the Hajj and Umrah, the Hajj and Umrah Regulation Bill 2023, moved by Senator Muhammad Talha Mahmood, Minister for Religious Affairs and Interfaith Harmony, and the sitting of the Senate held on 2nd August 2023, presented by Senator Maulana Abdul Ghafoor Haidari, Chairman. Senator Maulana Abdul Ghafoor Haidari, Chairman. Senate Secretariat. Report of the Standing Committee on Religious Affairs and Interfaith Harmony. I, Senator Maulana Abdul Ghafoor Haidari, Chairman of the Standing Committee on Religious Affairs and Interfaith Harmony, have the honor to present on behalf of the committee this report on a bill for regulating and managing the Hajj and Umrah, the Hajj and Umrah Regulation Bill 2023. The bill, as passed by the National Assembly, was moved by Senator Muhammad Talha Mahmood, Minister for Religious Affairs and Interfaith Harmony, and the sitting of the Senate held on 2nd August 2023, and referred to the Senate Standing Committee on Religious Affairs and Interfaith Harmony for consideration and report thereof. 2. The composition of the Standing Committee on Religious Affairs and Interfaith Harmony is as under. Number 1. Senator Maulana Abdul Ghafoor Haidari, Chairman. Number 2. Senator Gurdeep Singh, member है. Senator Moulvi Faiz Muhammad, member. Senator Anwarlal Deen, member. Senator Barman Khan Tangi, Professor Sajid Mir, Senator Sayyid Muhammad Sabir Shah, Senator Nasibullah Bazai, Senator Hafiz Abdul Karim, Senator Haji Hidayatullah Khan, Minister for Religious Affairs and Interfaith Harmony, ex officio member. तो ये तकरीबन 11 आदमी है, इसमें 11 अरकान है. 3. The committee considered the bill and its meeting held on 3rd August 2023 under the chairmanship of Senator Maulana Abdul Ghafoor Haidari with the following in attendance. Senator Maulana Abdul Ghafoor Haidari, Chairman. Senator Gurdeep Singh, Senator Moulvi Faiz Muhammad, Senator Anwar Lal Deen, Senator Baraman Khan Tangi, Senator Professor Sajid Mir, Senator Haji Hidayatullah Khan, Senator Sayyid Muhammad Sabir Shah, Minister for Religious Affairs and Interfaith Harmony. Summary. The proposed legislation was discussed in detail. Senator Muhammad Talha Mahmood, Minister for Religious Affairs and Interfaith Harmony, apprised the committee that the bill under consideration with the committee to enact a law to give legislative cover to regulate the Hajj and Umrah policy for a legal mechanism for registration, controlling and renewal of Hajj group organizers and Umrah operators, and also regarding penal provisions for those who violate the policy or other instructions issued under the policy. Is a large number of complaints were received at various forums against HJOs and Umrah operators, but there was hardly any effective law to regulate those complaints. A law to regulate the Hajj and Umrah operations required to address issues as and when arise. Be opined. He opined. He further elaborated that the legislative provisions are required to deal with those who deceive, cheat or misguide the pilgrims. Number 5. Thereafter, the committee discussed the bill in detail and appreciated the efforts of the ministry to formulate the bill to provide maximum facilities to the pilgrims. 6. After detailed deliberations, the Hajj and Umrah Regulation Bill 2023, as passed by the National Assembly, was unanimously approved by the committee. 7. Accordingly, the Senate Standing Committee on Religious Affairs and Interfaith Harmony recommends to the Senate that the Hajj and Umrah Regulation Bill 2023, as passed by the National Assembly and transmitted to the Senate, may be passed. The copy of this bill is annexed as Flag A. Tariq bin Wahid, DG Secretary Committee. Senator Maulana Abdul Ghaffur Haidari, Chairman, Standing Committee on Religious Affairs and Interfaith Harmony. As passed by the National Assembly, a bill for regulating and managing the Hajj and Umrah, whereas it is expedient to provide for a comprehensive framework for regulating plan, licensing, managing, operation and monitoring of Hajj and Umrah activities, including formulation of policy. Therefore, it is hereby enacted as follows. Number 1. Short title: Extent and Commencement. This act shall be called the Hajj and Umrah Regulation Act 2023. Number 2. It extends to the whole of Pakistan. 3. It shall come into force at once. 2. Definitions. In this act, unless there is anything repugnant in the subject or context, effecti. Effecti means a pilgrim or an intending pilgrim who individually or collectively suffered hardship or financial loss as a result of any act, omission, default, fraud or negligence of an organizer. To appellate committee means a committee constituted under this act to hear and decide appeals against the decision of the complaint disposal committee. Blacklisting means to impose ban on a person or service provider for doing Hajj or Umrah business permanently or for a specific time. Company. Company means a company is incorporated under Companies Act 2017 XIX of 2017 and registered under this act for the purpose of rendering services to pilgrims for performance of Hajj or Umrah. XIX mean 19. Compensation means the money payable to the effective by the defaulting service provider or organizer. Competent authority means the secretary as defined in the Rules of Business 1973. Complaint means any grievance lodged with the division concerned by an effective in writing relating to Hajj or Umrah services against the service provider. Complaint Disposal Committee or CDCs means a committee constituted under this act for disposal of complaints relating to Hajj or Umrah. Decision means an order or direction of the division concerned. The appellate committee or the CDCs made in accordance with the provisions of this act or rules made thereunder. Defaulter means a company, chief executive or director of any Hajj or Umrah company or individual who committed violation or any provision of this act or rules or regulations made thereunder. Division concern means the division to which businesses of this act stands allocated. Donations means sums to be received or transferred into fund as donation from any organization or person under this act. Dues means any type of dues which are outstanding against an organizer in relation to pilgrim affairs. Fee. Fee means charges prescribed by the division concerned for enlistment or licensing or registration or authorization or process or any service under this act. Fund means Hajj operation fund, Umrah fund or any other fund created under this act. Grants means sums received or transferred into fund as grants from the federal government or a provisional government or any organization or person for the Hajj operation fund. Hajj Group Organizer or HGO means a company duly licensed or registered under this act as service provider to the pilgrims. Hajj package means the cost of Hajj and allied facilities approved by the cabinet for government Hajj scheme and by the division concerned for private Hajj scheme under this act. License means a permit or a certificate of registration issued by the division concerned to a company for providing services to pilgrims for performance of Hajj or Umrah. Organizer or service provider means division concerned or a person or a company registered with the division concerned for the purpose of rendering services to pilgrims for performance of Hajj or Umrah. Prescribed means prescribed by rules or regulations made under this act as the case may be. Record includes account, book, return, statement, report, chart, table, form, invoice, letter, agreement, voucher, plan, financial and non-financial information, and anything containing information whether in writing, digital or in electronic means. Regulations means regulations made under this act. Rules means rules made under this act. Service Provider Agreement or SPA means the agreement signed, executed or concluded between the division concerned, any company for operation of Hajj or Umrah, and Umrah Group Organizer or UGO. Umrah Group Organizer means service provider duly licensed or registered or enrolled by the division concerned. Hajj policy and plan. All affairs of the Hajj shall be regulated through Hajj policy and plan, which includes inter alia, allocation and distribution of Hajj quota, Hajj expenses, Hajj packaging, selection of welfare staff, training and monitoring, etc. The Hajj policy and plan under subsection 1 shall be prepared by a policy committee headed by the secretary of the division concerned and shall consist of 9 members. The members होंगे 9. 9 members to be appointed by the federal government for a term of 3 years in the prescribed manner. 3 years के लिए 9 members होंगे. The Hajj policy and plan under subsection shall be approved by the federal government and notified in the official gazette by the division concerned. Government Hajj scheme. Notwithstanding anything contained in this act, the division concerned shall have authority to organize, execute and manage Hajj affairs as an independent operator under government Hajj scheme. Power to grant license to Hajj group organizer. The competent authority shall have exclusive power to grant, issue, renew, extend, amend suspend, review, re reissue, reissue, reissue or rescind a license in respect of any private limited company and found duly qualified by division concerned in the prescribed manner. The competent authority may, in the prescribed manner, after serving a show cause notice and providing the opportunity of being heard, suspend or rescind a license of an HGO on the ground of violation of any provision of this act, rules or regulation made thereunder, of terms and conditions of license and may encash and forfeit his entire or a part of bank guarantee on such violations. Maintenance of record. The division concerned shall maintain a complete record of all licenses issued to all the HGOs, including information of licenses suspended or rescinded. Hajj group organizers license under this act shall, in the manner as may be prescribed, seek prior permission of the division concerned before discontinuance, transfer to the extent of management and shares or reorganization of its business or change of its address as the case may be, provided that in case of transfer the transferee shall be liable to clear all liabilities and debt outstanding against the transferor HGO. Criteria for enrollment. The division concerned shall pre-qualify an HGO for enrollment in the manner as may be prescribed. Allotment of Hajj quota. The enrollment of an HGO under this act shall not accrue any right for allotment of Hajj quota. The Hajj Policy Committee shall have exclusive powers to allocate, distribute, redistribute and revoke Hajj quota in the manner as may be prescribed. Umrah Policy. All affairs of the Umrah shall be regulated through Umrah Policy, which includes inter alia, Umrah expenses, Umrah packaging, training and monitoring, etc. The Umrah Policy under subsection shall, in the manner as may be prescribed, be prepared by a policy committee as constituted under this act. The Umrah policy under subsection 1 shall be approved by the federal government and notified in the official gazette by the division concerned. Power to grant license to Umrah group organizer. The competent authority shall have exclusive power to grant, issue, renew, extend, amend, suspend, review, reissue or resign a license in respect of any private limited company and found duly qualified by division concerned in the prescribed manner. The competent authority may, in the prescribed manner, after serving a show cause notice and providing the opportunity of being heard, suspended or resign a license of an UGO on the ground of violation of any provision of this act, rules or regulations made thereunder, or terms and conditions of license, and may encash and forfeit his entire or a part of bank guarantee on such violations. Maintenance of record. The division concerned shall maintain a complete record of all licenses issued to all the UGOs, including information of licenses suspended or rescinded. UGO shall, in the manner as may be prescribed, seek prior permission of the division concerned before discontinuance, transfer to the extent of management and shares or reorganization of its business or change of its address as the case may be, provided that in case of transfer the transferee shall be liable to clear all liabilities and debt outstanding against the transferor UGO. Criteria for registration. The division concerned may, subject to any rules or policy made in this behalf, from time to time register and grant license to such UGO as at things fit for undertaking Umrah operation on deposit of such security and on such terms and conditions as may be prescribed. 13. Liability of Hajj or Umrah. The Hajj or Umrah organizer shall be liable for any act, commission, omission, negligence, or default in the provision of services which leads to hardship to any pilgrim by the HGO or UGO and violation of agreement during performance of the Hajj or Umrah, as the case may be. 14. Composition and powers of complaint disposal committees. There shall be 4 members CDC. CDC कितने मेंबर पर होगा? 4 मेंबर पर, 4 members. Chaired by an officer not below the rank of BPS 20 or equivalent for disposal of all complaints pertaining to violation of agreements during performance of Hajj or Umrah resulting in hardship to the pilgrims. The CDC shall have powers to decide complaints subject to provisions of this act and rules made thereunder. Appellate committees. There shall be 3 members. Appellate committee में 3 member होंगे. Appellate committee chaired by an officer not below the rank of BPS 21 और BPS 21 से इसका rank कम नहीं होगा. Are equivalent to hear and dispose of appeals against decision of CDCs. Penalty. The CDC may impose penalty on an HGO or UGO in case of violation of agreement committed by them. The major penalty shall include permanent or temporary blacklisting of HGO or UGOs, suspension, cancellation or rescinding of license for specific period, reduction of Hajj quota for a period decided by CDC. In case of HGOs or forfeiture of performance guarantee. The minor penalty shall include a reduction of less than 5% quota in case of a GO for a period as may be decided by CDC. Fine proportionate to violation or warning on account of violation of clauses of agreement. The CDC shall have authority to pass order for the compensation to the aggrieved pilgrims or attending pilgrims to the extent of the claims that happens to be proved. Appeal. Any person or party aggrieved by any order or decision of the CDCs may within 30 days of the receipt of such decision or order prefer an appeal to the appellate committee. The appellate committee shall, after hearing all concerned, decide the appeal within 30 days from the date of its filing, extendable for not more than 30 days, with prior approval of competent authority. Any person aggrieved by an order or decision of the appellate committee may within 30 days of the receipt of such decision or order prefer appeal to the court of district judge of appropriate jurisdiction. Monitoring. The division concerned shall, in the manner as may be prescribed, devise a comprehensive monitoring mechanism to evaluate the performance of HGO or UGO in and outside Pakistan. Hajj Operation Fund. There shall be a Hajj Operation Fund for the purpose of Hajj operation to be administered and controlled by the competent authority. Number 2. The Pilgrim Welfare Fund, which exists prior to commencement of this act, shall stand transferred and become part of the Hajj Operation Fund, Hajj Operation Fund (HOF), to be maintained in a single account in any scheduled bank. Hajj dues to be deposited by the intending pilgrims in the designated branches of the scheduled banks and Sharia compliant account, profit on retention of Hajj dues and maintenance of accounts, receipts by virtue of utilization of services at all directorates of Hajj in Pakistan or abroad, and refundable performance guarantee of the GO or any other receipts which the division concerned may prescribe shall be deposited in the account maintained for the fund under subsection 2. The expenditure from HOF shall be made in the manner as may be prescribed. Umrah Fund. There shall be an Umrah Fund which shall include a registration fee, service charges, fine, and any other receipts as may be prescribed. The expenditure from Umrah fund shall be made in the manner as may be prescribed. Bank accounts. The division concerned shall open and maintain account in the public account of Federation of or Sharia Compliant Bank account in scheduled banks for various funds under this Act as and when required with the prior approval of Finance Division. Investment of funds. The division concerned shall invest in Sharia compliant mode any surplus amount from the funds in such manner as may be prescribed with the approval of Finance Division. Audit and accounts of the funds. Any fund under this Act shall be maintained and annually audited in accordance with Articles 169 and 170 of the Constitution of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Article 169 or 170. Indemnity. No suit, prosecution, or other legal proceedings shall lie against the federal government, any of its officers and officials in respect of anything done are intended to be done in good faith under this Act or the rules or regulations made thereunder. Recovery of arrears. All accounts which are recoverable from an SGO and UGO shall be recovered as per prevailing law on the subject matter. Establishment of offices. The division concerned may establish offices in the host countries and in Pakistan as and which it considers necessary to carry out the purposes of this Act. Power to make rules. The federal government may, by notification in the official gazette, make rules for carrying out the purposes of this Act. Power to make regulations. The division concerned may make regulations not inconsistent with the provision of this Act and the rules made thereunder to provide for all internal matters for which provision is necessary or expedient for carrying out the purposes of this Act. Overriding effect. The provisions of this Act shall have effect now notwithstanding anything contained in any other law for the time being enforced. Removal of difficulties. If any difficulty arises in giving effect to any of the provisions of this Act, the federal government may make such order not inconsistent with the provisions of this Act as it may consider necessary for removal of the difficulty. Saving. Anything done, action taken, appointments made, orders passed, rules, schemes made, notification issued or purported to have been done, taken, made, passed, or issued before commencement of this Act shall be deemed to have been done, taken, made, passed, or issued under this Act and shall have effect accordingly. Statement of objects and reasons. Statement of Before this proposed bill, the Hajj policy prepared lacked legislative cover regarding penal provisions for those who violate the policy or other instructions issued under the policy. Legislative provisions are required to deal with those who deceive, cheat, or misguide the pilgrims. Moreover, there is a need for a legal mechanism for registration, controlling, and renewal of Hajj group organizers who are responsible to conduct Hajj operation in the private sector too. Similarly, there is no exclusive law to regulate and address the Umrah related issues. A large number of complaints are received at various forums against Umrah operations, but there is hardly any effective law to regulate these complaints. Therefore, a law to regulate the Umrah operation is required to address issues as and when these arise. In order to have mandate of formulation of Hajj and Umrah policy, regulations of Hajj and Umrah affairs, which include powers to manage the Hajj and Umrah operators with to licensing, registration, monitoring, resolve the complaints of the Hajj and Umrah and penalties imposed on violation. This ministry has drafted a Hajj and Umrah Regulation Bill 2022. Ministry for Religious Affairs and Interfaith Harmony.